As students and teachers head back into classrooms across the country, there are growing concerns about the air quality in those buildings. NBC News correspondent Heidi Prisbilla is outside a middle school in Arlington, Virginia. Heidi, what is the CDC recommending as far as ventilation in schools once the kids and the staff are back?
Hi, Allison. Yes, the CDC coming under some criticism that its initial blueprint did not include really specific guidelines on ventilation and air quality in schools. On Friday night, the CDC amending that to include some more specifics, particularly, Allison, as parents are concerned about these new variants, new, more contagious variants spreading. So the CDC got a little more specific in there, saying that these buildings should meet code for air quality, seeing some of these schools hiring engineers even to check that out, and also recommending the purchase, for instance, of HEPA filters and UV light irradiators.
Heidi, you're in an affluent community, I understand, in Virginia, where 30% of schools there don't even meet basic ventilation standards. Tell us more about the problem and what's going on, not just there, but in schools across the country.
The parents and teachers who are in low-income areas and now in high-income areas are telling me the same thing, which is that COVID is exposing really a pre-existing condition that our kiddos have been living with for quite some time, which is the decrepit nature of public infrastructure in our schools. Allison, there was a report out last year from the GAO saying that there are 36,000 schools nationwide that need updated ventilation systems. Well, I talked to some mothers and some children here as well about what that means here in Arlington. Take a listen.
There's so much that we still don't know about how it impacts different immune systems. My son has an autoimmune condition. We don't know how it impacts children. Everybody has been different.
I was telling them about this new air cleaning thing. It's called upper germicidal UV. It basically creates a zone at the top air of a room, and then into any air that passes through that zone, any COVID or flu or anything is deactivated, so it cleans the air constantly.
And how was that deciding to speak at a school meeting?
I was nervous.
But you thought it was important?
Yeah, nervous, but I did it because it was important. I also told them to call me, though that hasn't happened yet.
I would love to see a CO2 monitor in every classroom so that teachers can know in real time what the air quality is in their classrooms. Much to my son's embarrassment, he's 13, I'm sending him back to school with his own personal CO2 monitor. And that really should not be an issue about those who can afford it get access to real-time data about how safe the air is that they breathe. I think as we look, past COVID, this is really a chance for the systems, the school systems across the country, but certainly within Arlington, to build back better.
Allison, these same mothers were on a conference call today with Senator Warner here in Virginia, and they said what they want is this $128 billion that's coming out in the COVID relief bill. They want that money stipulated and dependent on schools not using this money to plug deficits, but to actually invest in this infrastructure so that kids can know that they're going to a healthy school.
So, Heidi, what's the Arlington superintendent saying here?
So he says that they have spent months making upgrades. They've spent about $400,000, and they have gone into the 30% of those classrooms and purchased that equipment to now get it up to about 98% up to code. Take a listen to what he had to say.
And it's something new, I think, for school districts across the country to have to go deep and understand what the air quality is. But I think it's an opportunity for us because we should have been doing this a long time ago and not having had the resources. I think our fiscal plants around the country and all of our schools have not been invested in the same way. And so I hope this will be an opportunity for the federal government to recognize how important it is to invest in our infrastructure of our schools as well. That's been a long issue, I think, for many years, and this has just brought that to the light.
So, Allison, all of this, all the more important given that Dr. Fauci has told us just in the past week that children in elementary school will not be vaccinated until early 2022 at the earliest.
Heidi, you spoke with an epidemiologist who says that there are easier solutions to keep students safe. What kind of short-term fixes is he proposing? I know long-term fixes, it's going to take a while. We can't get there so quickly, but what can we do in the meantime?
Right. That GAO report said we're talking about billions of dollars in upgrades from decades and decades of neglect here. So he's afraid that parents will look at this, throw up their arms and just say it's hopeless. But it doesn't have to be that way. He says there are other things in addition to those filters and those irradiators. There's a very simple $50 box called a Corsi box that is actually a very good air purifier that can be purchased even in some of the lower income districts. For instance, in Philadelphia, where we were a couple of weeks ago, Allison, where just now there's been an agreement, I'm told, between the city and the teachers to go back, but not in those rooms where they were just using the plastic fans to circulate air.
Yeah. All right, Heidi, thank you so much. I know you've been reporting on this for some time now. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.